How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great and exceptional evening. All right. So if you've ever seen my content before, I'm usually talking about positive things. I'm usually talking about economics, things of that nature, certain current events. This is the first time I'm actually going to be talking about, a vacation that I've been on recently. Now, usually if you're on my social media, Facebook, if you're on my Instagram, you'll see I make a little video of pictures and videos and all that great stuff of my trips that I take. Love to go on vacation, not just to lounge around and do, nothing, but for me, taking a trip is having a great experience, doing something exciting, doing something new, breaking the monotony of life. Because a lot of people, and the older I get, I've noticed more and more people are very, very content with the basic, boring, monotonous lifestyle of living life via only social media apps and watching Hulu and Netflix. Is there anything wrong with doing these things? Absolutely not. But if that's your constant only thing that you like to do outside of going to work and taking care of your family, life was meant to be lived not on just these cell phones, but life was meant to be lived going out and doing something. A lot of relationships, people break up, people get divorced because they don't do new things. Certain people are just like, hey, I'm bored with this just basic everyday mundane stuff. And a lot of times I've heard men and females say that they're not in relationships anymore because they basically had to beg their significant other, their partner, to say, hey, let's get out of the house, let's do something that's going to make us not want to be on our cell phones. I think that's the best thing about being in any relationship, friendship, whatever the case may be, or just because I can do things with people, without people, or just doing something on your own. I went to a foreign country. I went to, for the first time in my life, by myself, Toronto, Canada, a couple of weeks ago. Great experience. Now, I know in any country and in any state and in any city, bad things and good things can happen all at the same time. So it's, I'm not going to make this a state or a city thing. I'm not, I'm talking about my life experience here. I'm not just gonna talk down about the Bay Area for the experience that has been had. I've been robbed in my life before, but I've never been robbed on vacation. And so I got robbed on vacation. Car broken into, bag was stolen, items missing. And whenever you're robbed, you feel violated, regardless of who you are, regardless of where you're at. And it can bring down your whole mood. And it brought down the mood of the trip altogether. And of course you're heated. So I was like, I'm walking around looking for whoever stole the bag, broke into the car. First time I had a car broken into, I guess it kind of reminds me of the secluded life that I live. But that's what made the trip a disappointment. Then what made the trip even more of a disappointment is the police didn't even come after. Now, I'm not knocking the police. I have cop friends. I have people who are police officers in my family. So we're not making this. First off, this video is not. We're not making this a political issue because that's what people love to do. I don't play politics because politics is economics. If you don't understand economics, you never understand politics. Regardless of sitting in the White House, governor's house, mayor's house, you never understand politics if you don't know the economics. I don't need to know your politics. I need to know your economics. Let's cut the nonsense with that one because that ticks me off. All right. So, so the police, you have to file an online report. And the crazy thing is, okay, so, and just in order for you to get a case number, and of course, you get a case number, they're not going to follow up with you. There's gifts and curse with this digital age, but I guess me coming from the DMV area, regardless if you live in Virginia, Maryland, or DC, the police are everywhere. There's always been a high police presence in the DMV area. In cities, and I know a lot of people watch this video and he's crapping on California. You see behind me, I have the city of Los Angeles for a reason. LA is my favorite city in the whole freaking world, and I love Los Angeles. And after this experience, I love Los Angeles even more so. LA is not a perfect city. And every city in this country, regardless if it's Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Jackson, Mississippi, Miami, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Detroit, Kansas City, Missouri, Seattle, Portland. I can keep going on and on. Every city in America and town and state in America has their issues when it comes to crime. So this isn't a new phenomenon that I'm talking about. But the main reason why the Bay Area was a disappointment is, I've been wanting to see San Francisco and Oakland because Oakland's rich in history, specifically rich in Black American history. San Francisco is rich in culture and great food, And one thing I will say, for the most part, the people in the Bay Area, for the most part, whether it was Oakland or San Francisco, they actually were cool. The one thing I do love the most about the West Coast are people are actually laid back, chill, mellow. For the most part, when I go out west, I feel like I'm at home because it fits my personality. I'm a laid back, chill. I'm not even though I'm an East Coaster, a DMV guy, but I'm not a real loud, rah. It takes a lot for me to make a lot of noise, especially in public. I'm a discreet to myself kind of person. You know what I mean? But anyways, long story short. So then what ends up happening, took a tour of Alcatraz. Wanted to do that since I was a kid because I saw the Alcatraz movies. Did that, come back. And the crazy thing is, it's like the crazy thing is, even at the time, my girl is like, look, this family 2 doors down, because the whole time that we've been on the freaking tour, okay, for Alcatraz, we're worried because, like I said, the vibe has been broken, been kicked down and whatnot. The vibe was way high up here during the trip, and then it just whoop down. And next thing you know, we come back, parked, paid the park, broad daylight, and we're at Pier 39. So we're where everything is at. The highlight of tourism in San Francisco. All right, where the shops are at, the aquarium is at, the boat tours, especially to get to Alcatraz. Everything is right there in that vicinity. The vicinity. Every city there's every city there's a main strip where all the tourists go for the most part. Chicago has it, Detroit has it, Kansas City has it, Atlanta, and so there's usually, in my experience, a heavy police presence. When I went to downtown Atlanta, heavy police presence. Okay, Houston, downtown Houston, very big police presence. All right, downtown Dallas, very big police presence. The River Walk in San Antonio, Texas, very big police presence. Believe it or not, in Los Angeles, Hollywood, and downtown LA, what they considered LA Live, heavy police presence. Even when I was in downtown Inglewood and whatnot, Inglewood, California, Long Beach, California, heavy police presence, police everywhere. So this is not a liberal or conservative issue. This is a common sense issue. But going to Oakland, I didn't even see one cop. San Francisco, I might have saw 3 cops. All right. So long story back to what I was saying, get back from the tour, and there's a family. They lost all the stuff. The back of their window was busted out. And I'm thinking, okay, San Francisco is literally the most expensive city to live in the continental United States of America. More expensive than New York. Okay. And yet and still, when they called the police are not coming. You have to file a report online. And what made it worse is this was a family. You could tell this wasn't a rental car, because the car that got busted out it wasn't even my car. It would have been worse if it was my car, but it was a rental car. So, and when we even drove back to we had to go to the nearest Enterprise rental car place. And I'm going to give Enterprise, I've never had a bad experience with Enterprise, and the way that they handled this matter has been terrific. The customer service was terrific. In San Francisco, it was terrific, and to me, it was even 10 times better in Oakland. Surprisingly, International Airport, great customer service, great staff. I got nothing bad to say about that. Majority of the people, even like when they saw the window was busted out, people came to us and was like, "Hey, are you okay? You guys need help." And they talked about their experiences, of getting their cars busted into. And then even the people that's why I said, it's like, for the most part, the people in the Bay Area are actually pretty cool. It's the West Coast. When it usually, for the most part, my experiences with the people on the West Coast has always been cool. I always say West Coast is the best coast. Most people think I'm from the West Coast because of the way that I act, and I always got a Dodger hat on. You see LA stuff all around me, all day, every day, LA, San Diego, etc., and so forth. But at the end of the day, it was just a crazy experience, and because the whole mood was jacked up, we didn't have a chance to really do the things I wanted to do. We didn't have the chance to do the things we wanted to do like that, and it was a crazy experience. And they even told, and of course, you're mad, I'm heated. I'm walking around to see if anybody's wearing my book bag, and the people at Enterprise was telling me, it's like, yeah, it's a good thing that you didn't see the people and try to go after them. They're like, it's not worth it, because they will shoot you on site. They said they've had customers get shot on site for trying to, because they actually saw the person break into the car and they tried to stop him, and the person was shoot him. So, and they even said that this is normal. It happens every day. And then we get the new rental car, and as we're leaving, the guy's like, we have to check your information. He said, "Hey, be careful, man. They're stealing cars in the Bay Area." They're like, "Yeah, this is our second car. We know." Or no, he said they're breaking into cars in the Bay Area. I'm like, "Yeah, this is our second car." So that was the biggest disappointment in the Bay Area, because at that point, because I saw that there was a lack of a police presence, I'm not armed. That I would just think one of the biggest cities and the most expensive cities on the West Coast would actually have one of the, heck, New York City is a beacon of a great example, because New York City has had their corruption issues, because I know I've done some research in Oakland and San Francisco have had some corruption issues when it comes to the city government. But New York City is not New York City, heck, DC, Washington, D.C. I grew up 30 minutes south of Washington, D.C. I'm from Northern Virginia. Okay. They've had corruption issues and whatnot. But I've always seen the police respond and physically respond to when an incident occurs. But apparently, there is a police shortage happening around the country, and I know for the various reasons, the people who are actually good cops, they get crapped on by the bad cops. If the good cops are part of a bad department, it messes up their career. And then you just have a lot of people who do not want to be a police officer. I get it. It's not even just because we live in the age of cell phones and things of that nature. I mean, how many people really want to deal with people's crap nowadays? I know I wouldn't. My personality, I'm a no nonsense person. I'm a decent person. I'm a professional, but I don't have the patience. I would, because when I was younger, the police department always tried to recruit me. And I knew then, I was like, yeah, I don't have the patience to be on patrol and dealing with people's nonsense. The first person that looks at me crazy is going to get tased or shot or something. So, that's just what it is. But at the end of the day, that was the biggest disappointment. It's like stuff's gonna happen. You can't control everything, but the lack of the proper response, and then the fact that and then another thing was that Enterprise, another lady got her bag stolen from her car in Oakland. So this is what I'm talking about. That's why this was the disappointment. I've been to LA, all through Los Angeles. I've been to where Nipsey Hussle was killed, rest his soul, where the Marathon store was, because I know they had to sell the property and they moved the store, or they're in the process of moving the store into Hollywood. But I've been to where Nipsey Hussle was killed, and off of Crenshaw and Slauson. Okay, that's the hood. As much as they try to gentrify, Crenshaw and Slauson is the hood. Okay, been to Compton, been all through Inglewood. Okay, and we're talking about places where been to Watts, crazy. Didn't realize I was in Watts the last time I went to Los Angeles, but I was there for 2 seconds. I went I tried out this black-owned business, to get these burgers. I got it, and I saw it across the street. That was the project. So as soon as I ordered the burger online, got the burger, got in the car, and rolled out. Okay, hey, I'm not a hero. I got nothing to prove. I'm 40 years old. I'm not trying to be a tough guy walking the streets and whatnot. That's not, when I go someplace, I'm going someplace for a purpose. I'm a grown man. I'm not just hanging out someplace for the sake of hanging out someplace. But at the end of the day, that was the biggest disappointment. Because like that example, like I said, I just came back from a foreign country, Toronto, Canada, and felt safer there than I actually felt in freaking the whole Bay Area. Not even just Oakland, San Francisco too. So that's why the Bay Area had had a nice spark to it. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, Southern California is where I would rather be. Not even just because of the whole safety factor. It seems like there's much more to do in Southern California between San Diego and Los Angeles compared to Oakland and San Francisco. Now, in my heart, I want to go back because I didn't get to really get the full dynamics of the Bay Area because of the robbery. So next year might take a shorter trip there because I still want to go to Reno. I'm in my 40s now, so it's time to knock off a lot of bucket list things in my life. So I still want to go to Reno, Nevada, but at the end of the day, that's why it was a disappointment. I didn't get to see Black Panthers headquarters. Just wanted to do a drive. I didn't really get to see all what Oakland had to offer. Saw more of San Francisco than we saw Oakland, but saw downtown Oakland, and that was a sad thing because once again, these are downtown areas that should have the biggest police presence outside of the quote unquote well-to-do, because the well-to-do areas are always going to, because money talks in a capitalist society. And I'm sure in the most well-to-do areas in the Bay Area, they probably have private security guards who will probably have some sort of detainment slash most likely detainment authorities, to where they can detain people and then call the police and hand them over to the authorities and things of that nature. They make a private citizen's arrest from a private security guard perspective. Because heck, even the first time, now this is one thing that San Francisco and Oakland have in common with Houston, Texas. Armed security officers inside a Target. That was the first time I saw that. That was in Oakland, but I've seen armed security officers at a Whataburger in Texas, liquor stores in Texas, Kroger in Texas, and heck, even in Atlanta, Georgia. And the crazy thing is, the crime rate all across America has been growing tremendously, regardless who's in the White House, governor's house, and mayor's house. So miss me with the political nonsense. Excuse me, especially in the areas that are the most expensive, like in New York and California. However, the same element is coming to a city near you, i.e., Atlanta, i.e., Nashville, i.e., Houston, Dallas, New Orleans. Need I go on? If you're in Austin, Texas, if you're in a major city and the cost of living is getting much more ridiculous, like it seems to be in every major city, then your homeless rate is going to go up and the crime rate is going to go up. Heck, even in Phoenix, Arizona, and I love Phoenix, Arizona. I was surprised when I went there 2 years ago, the amount of homeless people that were there. I mean, my buddy, we was at a Walmart, and I didn't realize how many homeless people that were there sleeping outside of the Walmart, begging, et cetera, and so forth. And then when me and my buddy forgot something, so we drove to a Walgreens, and I've told the story 1,000 times. I saw a homeless guy come out of a trash bin that was locked up, and then I guess he found something, and he looked like he was doing a I'm so high crip walk. And this was like 11 o'clock at night. So I was just like, what the hell is going on? But this is a growing trend everywhere, not just the Bay Area. They have there, LA, they have homeless camps that, Houston has homeless camps, Austin has homeless camps, Dallas has homeless camps. You can't escape Atlanta, you can't escape it unless you live even in smaller towns. The crime rate is not going to be as high because there's less of a population, but the poverty rates are very high because of the lack of industry and lack of jobs. All right. So once again, miss me with the political nonsense. But it was just something to see. I just leave it at that. And that's why the Bay Area was a disappointment. But I'll give it another shot next year. Take maybe a quick trip, get there on a Wednesday, come back on a Sunday. Make sure I don't leave not even a plastic bag or a cup of water inside the car, and see what happens. And I even get the insurance with the freaking rental car company, because Lord have mercy. Disappointment. Cannot put it any other way, family. But I'll give it another shot, because I felt like all the money, especially all the money that you have to spend to even get to the Bay Area, and the money you're spending at the Bay Area, because it's the most freaking expensive place in the country. I wasn't expecting this. And like I said, just the lack of accountability, that was the other thing, because the criminals know, because even one of the people told us at the rental car place, hey, people will bust into a car in front of the police in Oakland in broad daylight, because this happened in broad daylight. It was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, West Coast time, when this happened. So the audacity for people, and it's just normal. It's so normal to people there that they're basically desensitized to it. It's just normal for people's cars getting broken into like that. They said you can't even leave a bag of food. Like if you leave a bag of McDonald's in the car, they're going to bust into the car and take the food. So yeah, that was the biggest disappointment. So I'm gonna get into these stats, and then I'm gonna call it a night. But I just wanted to, because when I first was going to do this video, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna rip San Francisco, and I'm gonna rip because obviously you get robbed, you're heated. I'm gonna rip Oakland a new one, because like this is ridiculous. And it kind of tells me that the city doesn't, because San Francisco is a tourist city. LA is probably the biggest tourist city in the state of California, as far as major cities, because the thing is, San Francisco, you got Lake Tahoe, you got Reno nearby. That's another place I didn't get to see because I was so pissed off. So those are, Napa Valley, didn't get to do that. These are big tourist attractions. So San Francisco is a big tourist city. Okay, LA, what do you think? LA, when people go to LA, the beach, because LA has way better beaches than the Bay Area. The beach, downtown Los Angeles, Hollywood is number one. Disneyland. There's so waste, Universal Studios, City Walk. There's way more things to do in Los Angeles, but those are the main tourist things that people think about. Go to Long Beach, Catalina Island. And guess what? Those areas, go to Venice Beach. That's one of the biggest. Venice Beach is Santa Monica Beach. And guess what? A big, huge, and these are not cheap cities to live in, police presence. Heck, I took the picture with the freaking what was it, LAPD, because people were taking pictures with the LAPD. The last time I was at Venice Beach, a situation happened between two vendors, and the police responded like that, and they de-escalated the situation without nobody getting killed or arrested, because it was a whatever, it was a little skirmish that I was walking by. So I got to give Los Angeles credit compared to San Francisco and Oakland. That's my main thing. Make this video like SoCal all day, every day. You know, that's the fact that this crap happened to me. This is the first time. Usually, I can't wait to get to California and stay there. But this time, I was like, I can't wait to get the hell out of California, because that's how heated I was. And it was on the first day. You know, it would have been bad enough if it would have happened on the last day, but it was the fact that it happened on the first day. So that just killed the whole atmosphere of the trip. You know, that's the thing. It killed the whole atmosphere of the trip. And that's what pissed me off tremendously. So it is what it is. You know, life lessons, you know, hey, it is what it is. Life lessons, you got to learn the hard way, you know. So I'm not tripping off of that. But I will say with all sincerity, it's just like, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. So let me get into these stats before I call it a night, because it's like I said, I was really disappointed at the end of the day. All right. So this article I found, it says robberies up in San Francisco. Here's how 2023 compares with previous years. All right. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's string armed robberies have rattled San Francisco in recent weeks, as mass assailants have bumped up the kind of robberies when it comes to especially violent robberies. 11 women have lost their smartphones due to specific robberies in San Francisco. You know, it's mainly items. And it's like I said, if you don't give up, people they're still smartphones. Like the stuff they got was glasses, two cheap wireless headphones, and a $59 tablet. Okay, so it's not like but it's just the fact that, like I said, getting violated. And they said that due to the pandemic, it's increased the crime rate significantly in the city of San Francisco, just the Bay Area as a whole. You know, it's just the Bay Area as a whole. And they said the reports have increased since the month of June. Okay. And it's so bad. That's why I said they said up to 100, almost 200 tickets. We was on the phone with the police. We were basically at number 175. They had basically 170 to 174 incidents before us, and it wasn't even 5 o'clock yet. That's how bad the crime is in Oakland, California. That's how bad it is in San Francisco, California. So that's and it says at the end of the day, it's just hard to determine. It's just hard to determine how to take care of this. It's the whole situation. You know, at the end of the day, it's like it seems like it's just getting worse. You know, and people are specifically targeting women with smartphones. That's the biggest crime that happens between car break-ins, home invasions. But women with smartphones are the main ones who are being targeted. Okay, so that is the craziness of it all. Okay, and it's like I said, I know Oakland, and the Bay Area has had for over 2 to 3 decades now a high homeless population and a crime rate. You know, due to the fact that your average, because when I was even looking, just for the sake of looking at homes, I was like, okay, well, let's look at some rental places to rent, and places that are like a dot of a room or whatnot, or a dot of an apartment. It was no less than $2,700, and that looked like it was a crap hole. But most places were from $3,000 to $4,000 a month for renting in the Bay Area. specifically San Francisco. I think it's a little cheaper in Oakland. It's a little cheaper once you like are you 30 minutes to an hour away from San Francisco. So you might be paying $2,200 a month or $2,500 a month for a small apartment or a very small home. Okay. So, and and don't get me wrong, there was very beautiful aspects of it. The Golden Gate Bridge was beautiful, even though it was covered in fog. Going to Alcatraz was beautiful. The sun was out. Certain parts of San Francisco looked nice. I actually think that downtown Oakland looked a little bit better than San Francisco because San Francisco's got all these tall buildings. And once, like, if you're driving on the outskirts of San Francisco, it looks very beautiful. But once you actually get into San Francisco and downtown, the buildings are so tall that they block the sunlight or whatnot. So that kind of has that New York vibe to it, San Francisco kind of reminds me a little bit of New York. I have family members that basically are family members in Newark, New Jersey, Paterson, New Jersey, Queens, New York, and Norwalk, Connecticut, and Bridgeport, Connecticut. So that they call that, I believe, the tri-state. So long story short, I remember going to Manhattan, and you'd be around certain, especially before 9/11, surrounded by all the towers and certain buildings. If you're in a specific part of the city, that it actually blocks the sunlight and whatnot. So, but San Francisco, I think it's way more because it's basically a peninsula. It's a little dot. It's a small, way smaller city compared to the other major cities in California. But anyways, they say that with 1,500 violent crimes for every 100,000 residents in the city of Oakland. That's what the article says. So 1,500 crimes for every 100,000, because Oakland's not a small city; it's a big city, and the violent crimes in the cities have gone up significantly since 2012. And it's up to article says it's up to 32%. So it's crazy. And at the end of the day, they said homicides are up 37% since 2019. That's just homicides. And it's like I said, the people at Enterprise were the coolest ever, but they was just like, yeah, they're like, it's bad. It's bad. And it was so crazy. Before we even left Target, a guy just pulled his thing out and started peeing on the street. And I'm just like, there's a public bathroom inside the Target. The guy didn't look homeless. He might have been, though, because the fact that he just did that, he looked like he just came from the gym. He was buff, great shape, older gentleman, tank top on and shorts. He looked clean. But my man just pulled his thing out in broad daylight and I'm just like, I guess I'm just desensitized to seeing stupid crap like this. But yeah, that was an experience, to say the least. And that's, at the end of the day, that's why the trip was short, but it got even shorter because they didn't really feel like doing anything after that. So I'll leave it at that. That's my 2 cents when it comes to the Bay Area. Maybe I'll do another video next year because I already got enough trips left for the year, but maybe I will go back next year. It's a big maybe. It's not a must because I finally said that was the last part of the West Coast I wanted to see. I've been to Portland. I've been to Seattle. The only part I wanted to see was the Bay Area and Reno and Sacramento, but as they call Sacktown. But like I said, the big disappointment, and all I can say to the city government of Oakland and San Francisco, you guys need to do better, especially if you want people to come see your cities. This has nothing to do with your politics, your religion, whatever the case may be. You guys got to do better than this. Because I'm from a major metropolitan. I'm not from a small town. The DMV area is just as crowded, if not more, than San Francisco and Oakland. Okay, when it comes to traffic, population increasing, cost of living, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. Where San Francisco is, we don't have the same as far as egregious sales taxes and income state taxes as California does or the Bay Area does. But long story short, we're halfway there. So that was the biggest disappointment, and like I said, maybe in 2024, give it a shot, but it'll be a very short trip. And because I just gonna want to see the stuff that we didn't get to see this time. And that's that. But yeah, it's like, to be as expensive, like I said, I never do this, but to be as expensive as a place to come visit, you know, as far as hotels and rental cars and, you know, plane tickets. I was expecting way more. It costs less to get a plane ticket to LA, which is south of San Francisco. It costs less to get a decent hotel room, rental car, which is all south. You know, even though, you know, I'm smart enough to know how to use rental car points and, you know, hotel points and all the good stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, I was very disappointed. So Bay Area city governments, regardless of who's in office, y'all need to do better. So from Oakland to San Francisco, y'all need to do better if you want people to spend their hard-earned money coming to your city. Okay. And I know that I believe, I'm not going to say 100% no, but I believe that the city of San Francisco subsidized housing for teachers, all emergency personnel, including police officers, in order for them to be able to afford to live in the city because it's overpriced. You know, like I know most cops that live in New York, I mean, that work in New York as NYPD officers don't live in the city because they can't afford to live in the city. Or if they do, most likely it's going to be Queens or the Bronx or something like that. All right. But like great example in DC, they have subsidized housing for police officers. Alexandria, Virginia, which is up the street from where I grew up at. At the time, now I don't know if this is true anymore. If you were in the city of Alexandria, you actually could get rent. You could live in the city of Alexandria rent free, and I think that was a great program because the city of Alexandria is one of the most expensive cities in the state of Virginia to live in, and the fact that they care enough for their police officers to be like, hey, you know, hey, as a city, we're going to subsidize it. You and your family can live here rent free. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I know that a city like San Francisco, I'm not going to say specifically Oakland, the tech boom place, they can afford to do something like that, especially with all the egregious taxes that they have in the city and in the state. But what do I know? You know, if you want, you know, if you want to incentivize somebody to come work for you, it's got to be bigger than just that movie, Vince Vaughn. You know, the whole thing for them, trying to be an intern at Google, you saw the quality of life at Google. So they're like, hey, we'll give you guys free apartments to live in, dorms to live in, give you free food and beverages and all that good stuff because we want to make life as comfortable as possible and like the remote working atmosphere. We want to make life comfortable for you as possible in order for you to continue to work for us, not just give you a good salary and things of that nature. You know, but like I said, what do I know? Does looking up something real quick. In fact, give me a moment. All right. Yeah, the San Francisco subsidize housing. Yes. There we go. Housing for the police. There we go. All right. Yeah, so it seems like last year, June of 2022, the mayor gets police stipends to get so in order for them to get affordable housing. Um, Even in the city of San Mateo, where we were at, because that's where the airport, the San Francisco airport is, converts old firehouse to alternate housing for police officers. All right, so to me, that's a smart thing. And as of June of this year, 2023, San Francisco has seen an increase in applications for the police department over the last 6 months because they proposed a budget. They proposed a budget built on delivering the basics that the residents deserve and the city needs. It includes their need to focus on public safety. Yeah, exactly. Um, and they're saying they are closing a massive deficit. It's critical that they still focus on making San Francisco a safe and just city for all. Yeah, well, you guys need to work harder on that one. And I'm being very, very pompous when I say this because I was a victim. And the top priority is to turn around their police staffing crisis, because they have a staffing crisis. No wonder you can't respond to freaking simple calls, and start growing their police force again. But public safety is not just about police officers, it's a wide range of solutions. It works around accountability and alternatives to policing. It's the work that they do, make sure that the officers have proper training and proper housing. All right, because the thing is, it's like, let's just keep it real. Most people that are moving to San Francisco, it's not because they want to be police officers. And if somebody grows up in San Francisco right now or anywhere in the Bay Area, I see 90% of the population not wanting to be police officers, not because they don't care about the community, because they know it's probably one of the lowest paying jobs in the city of San Francisco, in the Bay Area. We're just talking pure numbers here. And then you're putting your life on the line, knowing that the crime rate is crazy, the homeless population is crazy, there's homeless camps everywhere off the highway in the downtown areas, so there's no backup, et cetera, and so forth. So let's just keep it real. So there's proposals. San Mateo converted an old firehouse into a housing for police officers. I think that's commendable. I think especially more major cities like that are where it's become so ridiculously unaffordable. I mean, if you own a house in anywhere in the Bay Area and you want to stay in the Bay Area, then you can't move from that house. It's a kind of, for regular working people, it is a stagnant way of life. It is normal to see 50,000 cars in one driveway if anybody's living in a house, just in order for them to get by. And I'm gonna just keep it real. I'd rather live in LA and pay expensive rent or pay for an expensive mortgage because it's way more sunnier and more beautiful than pay that kind of money to live in San Francisco. San Francisco doesn't have that kind of spark to make me want to spend every dime I have to visit, or spend every dime I have to live there. So that's another thing I got to put into consideration. But on that note, all I got. Rant is done. And I leave it at that. Like I said, if the Bay Area ever gets my money, I will spend less time. I'll be there from Sunday to Thursday. And I think next time, most likely probably a Thursday to Sunday, just to do some quick drive-bys, and that'll be that. Because the Bay Area, it was nice, but it doesn't have that je ne sais quoi that I thought, heck, that we thought it was going to happen. So I'll leave it at that. So on that note, do the great three things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. As I always say, make money moves or you're going to live broke like a fool. Thank you all for checking in. And let me, if anybody's from the Bay Area, if anybody's ever visited the Bay Area, let me know your perspective. For me, spending the day's time we spent there, I'm going to go with LA and San Diego all day compared to San Francisco and Oakland. So I even think that even if it didn't get robbed, I would still say Los Angeles and San Diego all day. So I'm just going to keep it real and leave it at that. So on that note, do the great three things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Stay safe. Make money moves, or you're going to live broke like a fool. Take care.
Mike, now. Mike, now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you're having a great day. If you've been watching Larry's Anything Goes programming, you know that we are not only providing great financial intelligence content as much as possible by interviewing other financial professionals, professionals in the travel industry, real estate industry, etc., and so forth, but we provide various services when it comes to specific products that we sell, from anything that you would actually find on Amazon or actually at Walmart, etc., and so forth. And we are actually providing specific products due to today's current crisis and whatnot, to ensure that we provide the right services and products that you need at a reasonable price when it comes to medical face masks, when it comes to hand sanitizer, and when it comes to latex gloves and things of that nature, and et cetera and so forth, toilet paper, paper towels. But we have what you need. Also, family, don't forget that Larry's Anything Goes is a part of an affiliate marketing network known as Gold Standard Partners, where you have the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency and allow others to invest with you as becoming an affiliate marketing partner. And obviously, if they purchase a package with the program, you're able to make money off their package purchases and make money off of their crypto purchases and things of that nature. If you want to join, please follow the links in the description, and I'll give you a call as soon as you sign up and purchase a package, and we'll go from there. But definitely, it's all about the best way to make money moves is to have currency with one another, and to ensure that currency is always being spoken of on all levels, so it benefits everyone and not just one specific person. That's a lot of things that people forget about. So think about joining the program, and we'll be able to go from there. But if not, either way, it's always appreciated. And thank you for watching. And hopefully you guys have a great day and continuously make money moves so you don't live broke like a fool. Take care. As you can see, with our various products, we have our financial apparel. As you see, wearing There's Anything Goes t-shirt, financial intelligence is sexy, face masks, latex gloves, things of that nature, to obviously ensure the safety of you and your family all at the same time. We want to ensure that you get the best products and see the actual products that we're actually providing for you, and giving you another view of not only the shirts and the medical masks, but actually another view of actual latex gloves and the actual hand sanitizer. Because one thing we've learned throughout this unfortunate crisis is that we have to take more precautionary measures to ensure not only the safety for ourselves, but for our families. And having a great pair of hand sanitizers, latex gloves, and medical face masks will ensure that safety. And with all that being said, hopefully you guys will check out our online store. We have the various products that you see here. With a couple of clicks, especially if you're paying via PayPal, it makes life that much easier for you to purchase our various products, especially during this unfortunate situation. You see the apparel from Larry's Anything Goes. We have the medical products when it comes to hand sanitizer, latex gloves, medical face masks, things of that nature, and various other products. So please check out Larry's Anything Goes. Support small local businesses. We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully that you have a good day.